this collective is conflicted. They have a conflicting thought of, I have all these things around me, but I still feel unhappy with my life. We've been self-abandoning a lot. We have no boundaries. We're way too giving with we work way too hard, and we're way too giving with our resources, our time, our energy. And we're giving this to people in our lives who really don't deserve it, right? We have good memories with them, and that's fine. And maybe at one point they even were in this equal exchange, but now they're just not. They're not. We're giving it to people who aren't giving back. And it puts us in our self-sabotage mode of continuing to give, simply because, oh, well, I have all these good memories, or XYZ, they're my mom, they're my dad, they're my cousin, they're my best friend of 13 years. Like, we have all these reasons and excuses for why we put up with that treatment, why we put up with this over-giving nature, right? And right now we're in this energy, again, that's self-sabotage. Right now we're in this energy of going back and forth in our strength, right? The strength card, again, reveals a balance between your actual self and your inner critic, your inner beast, quieting the inner beast, quieting that inner critic. And we're in that. We keep going back and forth of listening to these self-sabotaging cycles and then having power over it, of having those boundaries and then loosening up on those boundaries. That's kind of where we're at right now. But we do have this incoming kind of fast energy, these changes of stepping into your power, putting that crown back on and actually saying no and enforcing your boundaries. And that's balancing the scales for you. There are people who are going to be mad about it. Let them be mad. You'll know who is and who is not for you based on who is mad when you say no, right? This will bring that balance. That will pull you out of this devil energy, and it will put you into the lover's energy, the one of, so you were not for me, therefore I don't need to give you any more of my energy. It'll free up your time because you won't be giving it to people who don't deserve it. That will bring, it will feel shitty at first. Let's be real, right? You're not used to putting those boundaries up. You're not used to enforcing them either. So it will feel bad at first. And the people who are mad at it are going to say stuff. Let them. Opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one. Let them have an opinion. Just because they say that you're a bad person doesn't make you a bad person, okay? If you're the type of person that they always relied on and then you say no and they're like, you're evil, well, they're just being stupid, okay? They're just being ridiculous. They just benefited from you having a lack of boundaries. So let them have their opinion and move on. You don't have to take that. That doesn't have to be your reality, okay? Allow yourself into your King of Wands. Allow yourself to be in this inspiring leader energy. Allow yourself to get into that. So get in your truth. Put your crown on and act like the king, queen, ruler that you are. Act like it, right? The king and the queen and the ruler don't care if you say no, because you're not their boss. You're not. You're not in their meat suit and you're not paying their bills, so why do I care? Why do I care about your opinion? And again, it's going to put you in your feels a bit. It's going to put you in that uncomfortable energy. It's going to make you anxious. All right. That's okay. That's part of the process. Every single person here who's been a self-abandoner their whole life, who has come out of that, can tell you that it's going to feel uncomfortable because you're not used to handling people's temper tantrums. Let's just call them that. You're not used to people's discomfort. You're used to bringing the peace. You don't like the discomfort, but you have to get comfortable in the discomfort. Okay? People are going to feel a type of way. Let them, okay? That will actually get you into your giving and receiving energy of actually having the people in your life who give and receive. And then you're not sitting with someone else's pain on you, right? You're no longer carrying other people's pain, other people's projections. You're not doing that anymore because you're weeding out the people who are just here to take from you, okay? That's where we're at right now. We're in that transitionary period of we're still a little bit stuck in the abandoning ourselves phase, and we're starting to make those changes, but we haven't quite stood on business yet. We're not quite there yet. We might have done once or twice, but we've gone back a little bit. We're still back and forth. That's a-okay, right? That's fine. Why you need to hear this at this time is because we're currently still wearing a mask a lot and strategizing because of this inner pain. We're still in that mode because we are we're trying to stop the feeling of people not being in our corner, of not being happy and never being able to just be adventurous, start new things, be creative, right? We're very much trying to avoid that. We have pain around this area. We're trying to navigate around it. We're trying to navigate around the discomfort of finding out who actually isn't for us and moving forward, right? We're trying to just skip that step entirely. Yeah, we're trying to learn. We're trying to learn ways to skip that whole step, trying to learn new ways and get into something else. And that's got us in a bit of a pause at the moment, a bit of just a moment. Yeah, we're trying to learn. We're trying to figure out how to just circumvent that whole mess so that we can move forward into our Page of Pentacles, into the new era, into the golden era of what we're trying to achieve towards our little dreams here. We're trying to make plans towards that legacy, towards that abundance, toward having the time in order to be able to do all of this, in order to be the superhuman, in order to account for everyone and everything. And it hasn't been successful because we're doing this for the wrong reason. We're trying to skip steps. You cannot skip the steps, okay? If you want to stop allowing people to walk all over your boundaries, you have to be firm with your boundaries, even if that means losing people. Because why would you keep people in your life that stomp all over your boundaries and don't give you the respect you deserve, right? You've been kind to them, you've been respecting them, and they don't feel the need to return the favor. They don't need to be in your life, point blank, period. They can't even do the bare minimum of giving respect. Why? You know? The plans haven't been successful because we're trying to do that for this reason. We're trying to bring in this perfect time management and just like, we're still trying to wear the mask, basically. And we just don't have that confidence yet. We're not confident in our actual selves in order to stand on business and just say no to people. Like, just not have people around that are always in our business. And that's where we're at, right? We're trying to manifest and alchemize, but we're still learning how to alchemize. We keep going from, I'm going to bring it in, it's coming in, I've got it, I know what I'm doing, I have the plan, I have the drive, I have the motive, to, oh man, I let someone walk all over my boundary again. It's going to be this way forever. I'm always going to be the doormat. I'm always going to allow people to do this to me. I shouldn't even try. I should continue to just let people step on me. What am I even doing, right? Well, that's being balanced. You're balancing it. We're going through the process. This is part of the process. In order for people who self-abandon to not do that anymore, you have to meet the people who have been taking advantage of your lack of boundaries. And you have to be in that discomfort. That discomfort teaches you discernment so that you know when someone is taking from you earlier, so you can cut them off faster. And you can accept the people who show up with the respect the first time. Instead of holding on to people because you've been around for a while with them, you have good memories with them, you stop giving people excuses who don't even have excuses for themselves. You just provide the excuse for them. They don't have to do anything, right? What you need to do about it? You need to build that foundation, friends. We're sitting on a really shaky foundation because we're trying to skip steps. How are you going to have that perfect time management, have those reciprocal friendships, and bring what you want in if you can't even figure out who's bad for you at the gate? You need the ability to decide who is and is not going to be good for you at the gate. That's why we learn this. That's why we do this. We have the self-abandonment, and then we have the moment where we stop doing that in order to learn how to discern who is and who is not for you. You have to go through the discomfort. I'm sorry. I didn't want to go through it either, but you gotta. If you skip over it, you're just going to continue to do it because we're skipping over the red flags. You have to notice the red flags early. In order to notice the red flags early, you have to know what the red flags look like. And the other transitionary period we're in is the scarcity mindset and the yes, exactly. The only way out is through. We're in that scarcity scarcity mindset and that lack, right? We try to hold on to these connections because we have an abandonment wound. We need to heal that. We need to heal the abandonment wound. As I've said many, many times, the universe does not have a metric grading scale for when you're healed enough to deserve your happiness. That's not how it operates at all. No, you don't get punished for not being healed enough. Okay? You're always moving forward in life, right? You have to learn the lessons, but you're not ever denied your happiness. Okay? It's what energy you're putting out, and the universe meets you where you're at. That's what they do every time. Every single time, okay? And yeah, right now we need that rest. We need that rest because we're currently still in our huge, we're trying to leave behind the self-sabotaging energy, but we're kind of still stuck in the self-sabotaging energy. We're still doing that. We're going back and forth on that kind of stuff. We are not giving ourselves our own, we're not pouring into our own cup. Yeah. We're not pouring into our own cup, right? Our cup is empty. You can't create from an empty cup. You can't pour from an empty cup, okay? We're still self-sabotaging. We're still not remembering that we are part of the equation. And we're not stepping into our power. We're still not doing that. And that's blocking that stuff. All right, now, the main thing is you need to put down the other people's sticks. Stop holding on to other people's sticks. Let them hold their own damn stick, okay? Okay? Don't let them, seriously, stop letting them put it on top of you. They can see you struggling, okay? If people see you carrying too much and they continue to put more on you, stop carrying their stuff. Stop it. Because then that just puts us in that I don't ever have time for anything. I can't juggle my own priorities. I can't figure out what I need to do right now because I'm too busy. I'm too busy and I'm too conflicted on the inside. My plans never kind of go through, and I'm carrying around all this internalized pain that's not even mine in a forever shame loop, shame guilt loop of, oh, I'm a bad friend. I'm a bad, insert title here. I'm a bad person because I can't carry all this stuff with me and still have a good life. They're not carrying anyone else's stuff. Why you? Why is that your job? Why do you feel like you have to carry it? Why is that your definition of a good person, is the one carrying everything for everyone else? Isn't it heavy? Let them carry their own sticks. Right? Because those people, you're over here giving them all those excuses, right? You're a very fair, just person. You have a good intellect. You're giving them the excuses. Meanwhile, they're criticizing everything you want to do. They're criticizing everything you want to do. So stop carrying their sticks. Stop listening to this asshole. Seriously, stop it. So that's the recap. Let's get into the Oracle advice cards. Goodness gracious. My friends. By the way, that's funny that you mentioned that, because one of the synchronicities I have here is flare-ups. And flare-ups represent spiritual awakenings, as well as a call to slow down, honor your boundaries, and release old traumas. Interesting that you brought that up. I would look into that, the spiritual meaning behind flare-ups, and see if anything resonates with you. Because again, why the hell do they need to call you at 3 a.m.? Let's get into the Oracle advice cards and see what's coming in for you. Yep. That's because you're doing too much. You need sleep. You need rest. You need to remember yourself, okay? Remember yourself. You're part of the equation too. It's absolutely beautiful to want to do things for other people, but you have to remember to be good to yourself too. You can't give to people if you're dead, okay? You can't give to people if you worked yourself into an early grave. Take care of yourself. Just like in an airplane, they tell you to put the oxygen mask on before you help others. You cannot help someone if you're dead. No, you can't help someone if you're tired. You can't, no. Eventually you collapse, and then you can't help anyone, even yourself. Okay? So just be good to yourself too. Let's help out the collective here. Let's soothe their fears, ease their anxieties, and give them some advice on how best to proceed forward, Spirit. Help give them some guidance along this path, and help them to figure out how they can stand more on their boundaries and not feel so guilty about enforcing them. Okay? Closing advice from my wonderful collective here today. And I just keep seeing the number 16, which is telling me that this is a tower, that this is not like... It's definitely a huge moment of realization for some people here. Yeah, White Raven. Goodness, that's a lot. Okay. White Raven Spirit, trust in the magic with 66, that number of balance and harmony. That also adds up to 12 for change in perspective. So trust the magic, right? That blue and white. Yeah, we're trying to manifest that stuff, but it's like we don't believe it will come to us. We're not deserving of it. What are you talking about, friends? Yes, you are. What are you doing? We have the Otter Spirit here with You Are Never Alone. Yep, Spirit's with you. What are you talking about? I told you, that's how the universe works. It follows your energy. They are always paying attention to what you're doing. And if you ask them for new beginnings, you have to be specific. Co-create with Spirit, 17. For the star, co-create with Spirit, okay? If you want new things, be very specific on what you want, okay? And then believe it. Tell the universe what you want, and then actually believe that you can receive it. Why would you ask for what you want? You don't go to a restaurant, ask for an order, and then be like, okay, well, only if you want. Only give me the thing I asked for if you want to, right? Here's my money. I'll wait for it, but if you feel like it, I can have my burger. Like, no. You go there, you make your order, and then you pay them, trusting they'll give you the thing you asked for. Same thing with the universe. Show up, say, I want this, do your internal work, right? And trust that it's going to be given to you, because the universe is energetic exchanges. What you give is what you get, right? If you tell them that I want this and I'm deserving of this, they'll meet you right where they're at, because now you're making sense. You're not confusing. You're not giving mixed messages. You got to use that brain of yours. What's the point of having it if you don't use it? Now, I get it. I like to try new things. I like to try recommended things, but you do have to think for yourself. You got to think for yourself with the universe. The universe isn't going to recommend products for you. They're going to be like, what do you want? If you're like, I don't know, what do you want to give me? They'll be like, why are you being confusing right now? They'll laugh at you, and then they'll be like, all right, you want to be confusing? We'll be confusing. 19, be loyal to what you love in the reversed. Normally, this would say that, be loyal to your friends, be loyal to that. Yeah, no, you can't be vague with the universe. Don't do that. They need specific, okay? If you give them vague, they're going to get, that's how you end up with stuff like Fae stuff. That's how you end up with getting things you didn't want, but it fits the criteria, right? Don't do that. Be specific. Normally, this talks about being loyal to friends, family, the things that you really love, right? We're not doing this. And before you start, I am not talking about the people I just yelled at you about. Why are you not being loyal to yourself? You're part of the equation. We should be being loyal to the people who show up for us. The person that if we did call them at 3 a.m., they'd actually answer their damn phone. Or if we said, hey, I'm sleeping, don't call me until, or I'll call you when I wake back up, and they don't make you feel guilty for sleeping. Those are the people we put our time, energy, and effort into, okay? Those are the people we show up for. The ones who actually care about our health. The ones who care about us resting, eating, having fun. Those are the people we actually pour into, not the people who make you feel guilty for not giving them 2,000%, even though they can't even give you 3. Not those people. And let it shine. This beautiful peacock here. Someone could be 46. That peacock spirit. Yeah. Let your true self shine. Stop wearing a mask. If they don't like it, they can go. Out the door. They know where the door is. Yes, exactly. Oh my gosh. Okay. That's something that self-abandoners need to learn, is that you're actually pretty cool. You're actually pretty lit. When you're sitting in your own energy and you like start to get comfortable in your own energy, you're like, oh man, this is great. I love hanging out with myself. A lot of times people are like, I don't like being by myself because I suck. And it's like, why do you tell yourself that? Because you have intrusive thoughts? Because you have old wounds that you won't address? Because someone told you that you were lame? Why are you listening to them? Who made them the god of cool stuff? Why does that matter? Personally, I like being by myself. Probably too much. I probably freak all my friends out. I'm like, leave me alone. Don't talk to me. Unless you really need me, then, then you can talk to me. Like, my friends, the people who really care for me know that, like, they know that I'll probably disappear for a little bit and I'll come back and I'll be fine. We can talk. It's fine. Like, really, you're the one that comes into your life and is with you the entire time, and you leave with yourself. Why not have a good relationship with yourself? Why not actually like yourself? There's nothing wrong with you. There's like, so what if you watch documentaries for fun? So what? Yeah. So what? So what if you have hobbies that other people consider weird? So what? Have your special interests. Enjoy your time with yourself. It's not that weird to like yourself. People only get mad at it because they can't fathom what it's like to actually like yourself. They call you conceited or selfish or whatever because it triggers them. They're like, how can you be by yourself? You must think so highly of yourself. And you're like, damn right I do. I'm pretty cool. When I'm with myself, I'm not dealing with drama. They are cool. I watch them all the time. That's what I do for fun. Other kids were watching, I don't know. What were kids watching? Wizards at Waverly Place, and I was watching Animal Planet. I was one of those kids. So I was watching History Channel and stuff like that. Oh, wow. I'm going to watch a 3-hour documentary on mummies. That was me. They're like, she's weird. I'm like, I know. And thanks. Yeah, buddy. Any other advice for my collective at this time? Yeah, like, be okay being weird. I mean, God, have you ever looked at a peacock? They're weird. There are some weird birds. Birds. There was nothing wrong with that show. It was great, right? That's one of the few shows I do remember from normal TV networks. But I was usually watching documentaries. It weirded my friends out so much. The ones who were the popular kids, they thought I was so weird. I didn't care. They did not care. Peacocks are weird. They sound weird. They look weird. They're blue. They are all kinds of strange. And yet we call them beautiful. And yet they still get up and they fan out their little display and they make all kinds of noise that no one asked for. Find the people who like your weirdness, who show up for you, who respect your time and your energy. and who don't require you to change every single thing about yourself in order to hang out with them. Why? Why do I have to not be myself to hang out with you? That's hater energy. And yeah, take the lead. And reclaim your power. The 2 leader cards, the stag and the panther. 44, again, for that stability, foundation, and security. And 58. For 13, which is death. That's funny. Take the lead. Why are you waiting for someone else to tell you? This is not a personal reading. This is a collective. If you want a personal reading, I offer that at the link in my bio. Feel free to check that out. And there's no need to be afraid. Just because, so let me explain something. Tarot is not set in stone. It goes off of current energies, okay? If you have a reading that is a bad reading, right? Or you feel is a bad reading, I mean, that seems like good energy to me. But if you have a reading that you consider to be a bad reading, remember that it is temporary. You are the controller of your own fate. You are the writer of your own destiny. You have a pen and you can decide where you do and do not go. If you don't like the answer, make a different choice. Okay? And I'm not saying go from reader to reader to reader to reader. That's rude. All right? That would be like me coming to you for advice and I didn't like your advice. So then I go to your friend and then I go to your brother and then I go to your sister and then I go to your mom. You know, like, that's what that's like, okay? If you don't like what Spirit has to say, change it. Okay? Because it's going off your current energy. It's supposed to, the whole point of tarot and oracle cards is to make you think, to give you the power to make informed decisions, right? It's to give you the ability to dig into yourself so that you can figure out which way you want to go. All right? There is no need to be afraid. And if any tarot reader out there makes you feel afraid, like they actually make you feel scared of tarot, you send them my way. I'll handle it. Because they're a liar. Yes, you take the lead. Why are you letting other people decide your life for you? Okay? Why are you letting other people tell you what mask you need to wear? Wear yours. Don't even wear a mask. Be yourself. And if you don't know who you are, find out. Yeah, lay a solid foundation. What'd I tell you? 6. That Lover's card. Harmony, balance. If you can't skip the steps. You can't skip the steps. If you're trying to stop people pleasing, self-abandoning, you need to lay the foundation and stand on it, okay? Our current actions, our current foundation, our current routines are the ones that shape our walking reality. If you say, I'm going to say no to people, and then you say yes all the time, you're on shaky foundations. Solid foundation, and then stand on it. Because the more we give way, the less stable our foundation is. And I'm not saying you have to say no to everything. You know, you're smart. You know when to say yes and when to say no. But don't say no because you feel guilty. Or I'm sorry, don't say yes because you feel guilty. Okay? And there's that 11 for justice. Balance the scales out a bit. Last bit of advice for the collective, please, Spirit, so that I can release them to the wilds. Let Spirit be your guide. And that's funny because they just said that you feel like you need someone else to tell you which way to go. Spirit's guiding you to choose yourself. That's what they do. Choose yourself, friend. Always choose yourself. What do you want? Who do you want to be? Which way do you want to go? Do you want to carry all those sticks? What do you want to do? Spirit will always be like, they want you to choose yourself every time. That's why we're here. We're here to choose ourselves. They'll give you those opportunities. Do you choose yourself or do you continue to self-abandon? What do you want to do? Do we continue going in a little loop or do we progress forward on our path? What do you want? And if you tell them, I don't know, what do you want? And be like, no, we're going around. We're going around again. Think on your feet. Like I said earlier, you got that brain, use it. Think for yourself. You're not going to make the wrong decision. If you're choosing for yourself, it's not the wrong decision. You're not going to miss the bus to your healing. You're not going to miss the bus to your manifestations. If you know what they are, you know how to get there. Okay? Well, I already said last one. Well, one more. One more, please. One more, and then I promise I'm done. 10-10. Yes, let the cycle complete. Complete the cycle. Get off the merry-go-round. The view's not even that great. And what I tell you, there's always enough. Get out of the lack mindset. That's when this is in the reversed. That's because we feel like there's not enough. We're going to miss the bus to our own healing. We're not going to make it to our manifestation. We're somehow going to not get what we want. What are you talking about? The universe is infinite. It can create anything. If it could not, how would there be underdog stories? How would the poor become incredibly rich? How would that happen if there was not always enough? How would that happen? Why are you not deserving of the things that you want in life? Why must you be the one that carries the weight of the world on your shoulders? Put it down. Put it down. Okay? Put it down. It's not yours. It's not yours to carry. So put it down. And sing your own song. What's your song? Sing it. Okay? Sing it. Decide what your song is and sing it. That blue and that yellow. Speak your truth. Find out what your truth is. Find out what you actually want, and then speak it. Say it. Don't be shy. The universe always wants to know what you want, and you can never ask them too much. Never. Be bold. Be audacious. Have the balls. The audacity. Tell them what you want. Be crazy. Be delusional. Give them your wildest dreams and then say, but I'm open to more. I want this, but I'm open to better. And they will 100% meet you because the universe likes the audacious. They like the bold. They like the ballsy. They like the ambitious. They like the underdog. They like when we choose ourselves. Okay? That's all I have for you today. I hope that was helpful. If you, first and foremost, thank you for your time and your energy for choosing me to be your reader today. I had an absolute blast. And yeah, if you want a personal reading, I offer those at the link in my bio. If you are watching from the YouTube, when I post this later, it will be in the link in the description box down below. I offer two things. I offer a 3-card reading and a 10-card reading, which is called the Celtic Cross. Now, it's not just the 3 tarot cards and the 10 cards. What comes with it is also the oracle advice, like I did here, charms, dice, runes, and any synchronicities that I happen to intuit before the reading. Right? You get all of that. I'm working up to offering more in the future once I have my schedule figured out and how I exactly want to do it. But that's what I currently offer. Feel free to check that out, see if I vibe with you. If I do not, and this time, and this is the last I see of you, thank you again. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. I wish you so much love, luck, joy, happiness, health, and wealth along your way. Remember that life is an ever-crooked path, and you are never off of it, okay, friend? And if you have chosen to follow me, if you do vibe with me and you've chosen to follow with me, goodness, I wish all the same for you as well. Thank you so much for being here, for all the love, the support, the likes, the comments. It's been absolutely amazing having the people who have come back. I love you guys, for real. And yeah, I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.